Janiah pulls the gun from the earlier struggle, demanding the check be processed. A silent alarm is triggered, and Nicole, the kind-hearted manager, receives a call from authorities and reports a possible bomb threat.
Oh my God.
She has a bomb.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I just want my check cash.
Outside, police surround the bank, weapons drawn and sirens wailing.
Make it happen.
Welcome to Cephastock Movie Recaps. Today we delve into the details of Straw Full Movie Recap. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe and let us know where you're watching from in the comments section. Your support is greatly appreciated, my dear friend. Thank you. The movie opens with Janiah Wilkinson, a struggling single mother, and her chronically ill daughter Aria, enduring sleepless nights in a noisy, deteriorating apartment filled with hardship. Janiah dreams of carrying Aria from a hospital, the fear weighing heavily on her chest. The blare of the alarm clock abruptly wakes her, leaving her shaken. She gently rouses her beautiful daughter from sleep.
Come on, baby.
That hectic morning continues as Janiah bathes Aria for school. Aria, playful yet frustrated, disrupts her project and reveals her teacher announced she couldn't afford lunch, a painful reminder of their struggles.
Did she say that in front of the whole class?
Burdened with worry, Janiah prepares to leave for work. On the way out, she offers spare change to a disabled neighbor, only to be cornered by her landlord, who warns her that if rent isn't paid by 10 a.m., she'll be evicted.
You're gonna be right out there on the street.
After dropping Aria off at school, where they're met with a judgmental glance from the principal, Janiah rushes to her job at a grocery store, arriving late.
Hurry up and get up there.
Her shift begins in chaos, with long lines and impatient customers.
You're all slow.
One customer, angry over a WIC card denial, throws a bottle at her.
Hurry up! Hurry up!
Instead of defending her, Janiah's boss coldly tells her to clean it up. Exhausted and demoralized, she finds some brief comfort in a concerned co-worker's kind words.
Be okay.
Moments later, in the break room, Janiah receives a devastating call. Aria has had a seizure in the bathtub and is injured.
You see that line out there?
Panic sets in, but her boss refuses to release her paycheck and warns she must return within 30 minutes or lose her job.
30 damn minutes!
Frantic, she rushes to the bank, only to face a long queue, time slipping away with every tick.
I'm sorry, but you have to wait in line.
When Janiah finally reaches the school, she's met by the principal and Child Protective Services.
Please. You don't understand.
They inform her that Aria is being taken into custody due to alleged neglect surrounding the seizure. Desperate and heartbroken, Janiah pleads not only for her daughter but for Aria's seizure medication, fearing what might happen without it. Her pleas are ignored.
Why are you doing this?
As Aria is taken away, Janiah becomes frozen in disbelief and helplessness, revealing the painful truth of a system that fails to uplift those it deems unworthy, leaving the vulnerable to bear the brunt of its indifference. In heavy rain, an emotional Janiah cuts off an off-duty cop. He erupts in rage, yelling at her and violently forces her off the road. Shaken and drenched, Janiah watches the responding officer arrive, not to help but to inspect her car.
Ran me off the road. I have his license.
Discovering expired registration and insurance, they impound it. Stranded and humiliated,
Make her suffer.
Janiah suffers yet another blow, abandoned by both a cruel encounter and an unforgiving system that punishes the vulnerable instead of offering compassion or support. She returns to work soaked, drained, and broken, only to face yet another blow.
Another one, please.
You come in here
2 hours late!
Her boss fires her immediately for being late and refuses to release her paycheck, stripping away the last shred of dignity she holds onto, leaving her defeated in a world that offers no grace. Janiah returns home to find her belongings in the rain, evicted. Alone and broken, she screams in anguish at life's crushing weight. Desperate and furious, Janiah storms into the store to confront her boss and demand her withheld paycheck. Suddenly, 2 armed robbers burst in, one calling her by name after reading her name tag.
Get on the ground!
When he tries to grab her backpack, she resists, grabbing his gun and shoots him, defending herself in a moment of raw instinct. Her boss instantly accuses her of staging the robbery. Panicked, Janiah shoots him and flees, taking only her hard-earned paycheck. Janiah rushes to the bank, arriving just as it's about to close.
She'll help you.
Seeing her desperation, a kind manager quietly lets her in. Meanwhile, investigators flood the grocery store, probing the robbery and shooting.
Detective K. Raymond, did you witness this?
As they question employees, A sympathetic coworker speaks up for Janiah, moved by her struggles.
I'm telling y'all the truth, she wouldn't do this.
She insists Janiah couldn't have planned it. One investigator, sensing a deeper story, decides to give her the benefit of the doubt, for now. At the bank, Janiah reaches the counter, clinging to a fragile hope of cashing her paycheck. When the teller, Tessa, refuses without valid ID, desperation takes over. Cornered, Janiah pulls the gun from the earlier struggle, demanding the check be processed. A silent alarm is triggered, and Nicole, the kind-hearted manager, receives a call from authorities and reports a possible bomb threat.
Oh my God. She has a bomb.
Meanwhile, detectives Raymond and Grimes, investigating the grocery store shooting, question Janiah's unfeeling landlady. Upon learning of her eviction and breakdown, they're alerted to the bank incident and immediately rush to the scene. Tension builds as Janiah, hands trembling, pleads with the terrified teller, insisting she isn't robbing the bank, just wants her paycheck cashed. Customers panic as fear spreads.
Excuse me? Yes. I just want my check cash.
Nicole, the bank manager, calmly steps in, sees her desperation, and gently instructs the teller to process the check, hoping to prevent further chaos. Outside, police surround the bank, weapons drawn and sirens wailing. Detectives Raymond and Grimes brief their chief, outlining Janiah's eviction, job loss, and desperation.
Is the crime scene bad?
As tension rises, Raymond begins to see not a criminal, but a broken woman, pushed too far by a system that failed her. A brave customer lunges at Janiah, trying to seize her gun, triggering a misfire that stuns everyone. He flees with the guard, telling officers it was his reckless decision. No one's hurt.
You set me up.
Shaken by the failed disarm attempt, Janiah spots a live news report calling her a violent bank robber. The twisted narrative deepens her despair. As police try to contact her through the bank's phone, she refuses to answer, overwhelmed, mistrustful, and convinced no one will believe or listen to her truth. She drops her bag, terrifying the manager, who knows there's a bomb inside. With tension mounting and options dwindling, Detective Raymond, using her background as a former army negotiator, volunteers to speak with Janiah directly, hoping empathy can reach where force fails.
My name is Detective Raymond.
Over the phone, Janiah's voice trembles with exhaustion and frustration as she insists the gun fired accidentally and she never meant harm. She just wants her paycheck to feed her hungry daughter, Arya.
How about you put the gun down?
Raymond listens patiently, explaining how the situation appears from outside. A woman with a weapon holding people hostage, causing chaos despite good intentions. But Janiah, overwhelmed and distrustful of a system that has failed her repeatedly, refuses to surrender. Inside the bank, trapped customers grow more anxious, sensing her unraveling. Heartbroken yet determined, Janiah demands that someone truly hear her truth before anyone leaves.
I didn't come in to do that.
In a moment of aching grace, Janiah takes her paycheck, tearfully offers $40 for Arya's lunch. Nicole gently urges her to give it to Arya herself.
I want you to give this to her yourself.
Spotting the off-duty officer who ran her off the road among police outside and threatened to shoot her, Janiah panics. Fear reignites and she quickly orders the blinds shut. The officers link the security feeds and flag the backpack as a bomb threat. Inside, tension rises. An employee discreetly starts recording on her phone. Amid the chaos, an elderly hostage, trembling, asks to sit.
Go get her a chair.
Without pause, Janiah gently instructs the bank staff to bring her a chair, showing compassion despite the pressure.
Just give yourself up.
An older couple pleads with Janiah to surrender.
Don't have all these freedoms.
She apologizes, then hesitantly lets them go, silently unraveling.
All right. Come back.
Suddenly, a persistent beeping from Arya's backpack jolts Janiah into action. She opens it to silence the noise, but panic erupts among the remaining hostages. Many fear it's a bomb. Chaos builds as Janiah, overwhelmed, begins to rant through tears, asking who will care for Arya. Her voice fades into confusion and heartbreak. Though not threatening, she appears fragile, emotionally unraveling. Instead of force, she responds with kindness, fetching chairs for those who seem tired. Watching the scene unfold on surveillance, the police grow confused. What kind of bank robber worries about hostages' comfort? Detective Raymond observes closely, sensing something different. This isn't violence, it's desperation. She urges the tactical team to hold off, to proceed with care.
This is not like her.
As debate brews among the officers, Raymond pushes for empathy over escalation.
No, I mean to save her life.
Raymond is finally granted another chance to speak with Janiah.
Detective Raymond.
At first, Janiah hesitates, her hand trembling as the phone rings, paralyzed by fear of more betrayal. But slowly she picks up. Her voice is quieter now, fragile, broken.
I told you I wasn't robbing this bank.
Unbeknownst to her, one of the bank tellers has been live streaming the entire standoff. The world is watching, not a hardened criminal, but a desperate mother unraveling under the weight of survival.
He's out there. He said he was gonna kill me.
Softly, Janiah begins to open up. She explains she saw the off-duty officer who once threatened her standing among the tactical team outside, the same man who promised to shoot her. She's terrified to step out, convinced she'll be killed. Then the dam breaks. Her boss withholding her check, the cops towing her car, losing Arya, the eviction, the endless loneliness. All she ever wanted was to feed her daughter.
She wants to bathe herself.
Raymond listens, silent but deeply moved. Then, gently, she shares her own past.
Not only was I raised by a single mother, but I...
Growing up with a single mother who carried similar burdens, working hard in a world that never saw her. Her voice is steady but thick with emotion. In that moment, something fragile and real forms between them, not through strategy but through shared struggle and human connection. Inside, Janiah is quiet now, her voice faded, eyes heavy with sorrow. The call ends in silence, not resolution. She's still afraid, demanding the officers who wronged her be removed. But something has shifted. She's no longer alone in her truth. The world is finally listening.
You don't know how hard.
Overwhelmed, Detective Raymond steps out of the post for air, emotions rising, deeply moved by the woman the system had long ignored. Meanwhile, the viral live stream draws national attention, prompting authorities to act. Fearing they're losing control of the narrative, the police jam the signal, cutting the feed. But the damage is done. Viewers are asking hard questions about the rogue officers Janiah mentioned. Inside the bank, tension thickens. Janiah and Nicole, now uneasy allies, quickly disable the security cameras, shielding Janiah from further surveillance and the growing media storm.
Do you know a lot about electronics?
Still, unease lingers. Tessa, a visibly anxious teller, keeps glancing nervously at the locked exit doors, suspicion clouding her judgment. The sudden stream cut sparks public outrage, intensifying pressure on law enforcement to act responsibly. Inside, a shift begins. Despite Tessa's fear and earlier actions, the other women, once terrified, now see Janiah not as a threat, but a mother pushed past her limits. The fear begins to melt into understanding. Shared glances and hushed conversations reveal a quiet, growing solidarity. An elderly woman quietly wishes Janiah peace through her struggle.
They always keep the air up.
Feeling a chill, Nicole gently helps Janiah with her coat, and they move to the manager's office to pick it. There, amid the tension, they share a rare, honest heart-to-heart. Janiah, weary and emotionally spent, notices a framed photo of Nicole's family and asks about them. In that small moment, something shifts. Two women no longer hostage and captor, but mothers. Nicole opens up about her own challenges as a working parent.
She's 7.
She doesn't excuse Janiah's actions, but she understands. Nicole gently urges Janiah to think of Arya, to protect the daughter she's fought so hard for by making the right choice.
This is bad.
Janiah listens, quiet and torn, still unsure, but one thing remains clear. She won't surrender until the officer who once threatened her is removed from the scene.
That cop, come on.
As night falls, the atmosphere outside the bank shifts from tense standoff to rising movement.
We'll go see.
A crowd gathers, chanting in unison, "Free Janiah."
Free Janiah.
What began in fear has transformed into empathy. Camera lights flash as the media captures the turning tide. Among the crowd, a homeless man, someone Janiah gave spare change to that morning,
My name is Benny. I know her.
speaks emotionally on live TV, recalling her quiet kindness. His words ripple through social media, reframing her from a suspect to a symbol of struggle and resilience. Tension spikes as the FBI arrives, overriding local police and pushing for force over patience. Detective Raymond watches helplessly, fearing their aggression will destroy the fragile trust she's built with Janiah.
We gotta find this damn officer.
Inside the sweltering bank, where the air conditioning has long failed, a fragile calm settles over the room.
They turned out the AC.
Janiah, used to discomfort, barely registers the heat. It's just another weight in a life filled with heavier burdens.
We've been sitting here for hours.
Tessa, still angry, snaps at Janiah for holding them hostage. But slowly the atmosphere shifts. Janiah shares how she first opened an account there, remembering Nicole's quiet kindness. Nicole, shaped by her own tough upbringing, has always tried to help where she can.
When I was at the hospital with my daughter,
Janiah's voice trembles as she speaks about Arya, born sickly and fragile.
my baby was a preemie.
She describes countless hospital visits, crushing medical bills, and the hopelessness of being poor in a world that doesn't care.
Expensive it is to be poor.
Through tears, she asks Nicole to care for Arya if the worst happens.
She won't be no problem either.
Touched deeply, Nicole meets her eyes and promises she will.
I will.
Suddenly, the diabetic elderly woman falls ill.
I'm feeling bad.
Without pause, Janiah urges Nicole to escort her out for medical help.
We gotta let her out. You take care of yourself, girl.
Though free to leave, Nicole returns, stunning authorities.
You're diabetic. Take your hands off me.
The world watches, realizing Janiah isn't holding hostages. She's holding on to hope. And now, others are choosing to stand beside her, not out of fear but solidarity. Tensions rise as the FBI demands contact, but Janiah erupts when they deny her a call with Detective Raymond, the only officer she trusts.
I need to talk to Detective Ray.
Frustrated and overwhelmed, she's startled by a persistent beeping from Aria's backpack.
Please don't do this. Don't.
Panicked, she opens it, revealing the feared bomb is just her daughter's science project.
It's not a bomb.
A wave of relief washes over the room. Softly and almost innocently, Janiah turns to Nicole,
Tell him it's not a bomb.
asking her to explain the misunderstanding to the police outside. As Janiah seeks clarity, Tessa secretly slips a note through a bathroom window. Bomb is fake.
What?
Meanwhile, Nicole, calm and strategic, urges Janiah to maintain the misunderstanding. The fear of a bomb, she warns, may be the only thing preventing a violent FBI breach. A chilling truth that might save them all.
Who was it?
It was Officer Oliver.
Detective Raymond confirms the off-duty officer's identity and has him arrested. Fueled by outrage, she punches him, then storms into the command post, demanding the FBI step back. Convinced they're nearing tragedy, she insists on speaking to Janiah herself.
Answer the damn phone!
Before everything spirals beyond repair. Detective Raymond finally reaches Janiah with a breakthrough. She's identified and arrested the off-duty officer who harassed her.
I want to see a picture.
But Janiah, still wounded by betrayal, doesn't trust easily. She demands proof, asking to see the officer's face before believing a word.
Send me the picture and I'll let everybody go.
Raymond tries to send a photo, but the signal is still jammed. Composed yet firm, Janiah makes a powerful demand. Restore communication and show the world what that officer did. Only then will she release the remaining hostages. Raymond, deeply moved by her pain, agrees. The call ends with Janiah smiling faintly through tears. For the first time, someone believes her.
They failed.
But hope falters when the FBI coldly denies the request, opting instead for a forced breach.
Wait, what?
Refusing to let violence destroy the fragile truth, Raymond acts.
Turn the damn phones on!
She walks to the bank's front doors and, through Nicole, delivers the officer's photo.
It's Detective Raymond. I've been speaking with you.
Janiah sees it, vindication floods her face.
That's him. I told you I was.
Tears fall. Finally seen, finally heard, she agrees to release the hostages.
Tessa, Raya,
But Nicole doesn't leave.
go on.
Instead, she stands beside Janiah, choosing to walk with her into surrender.
You go.
This quiet, profound act of solidarity stuns Janiah. In a world that often turns away, someone is finally standing with her, marking not just the end of the standoff but the start of truly being seen.
Make it happen.
The most devastating truth shatters the moment when Janiah receives a phone call from her mother.
Why you robbing that bank?
Her voice is soft, solemn, trembling.
You know I have to get her medicine.
On the line, her mother gently reminds her of the one thing Janiah had blocked out. Aria died the night before during the seizure in the bathtub. The world tilts. A sudden rush of painful clarity floods her mind. Everything Janiah believed about Aria's presence that day was a fragile hallucination. The school hadn't called, CPS was never involved, and the backpack she clutched was empty. Her mind, desperate to protect her from unbearable loss, had woven a reality where Aria still existed, if only for a little longer. Nicole, knowing the truth all along, stayed behind, not out of duty but love. She stayed to protect Janiah, to hold her hand through her grief's unraveling. Suddenly, Janiah envisions herself surrounded by tactical gear, gas filling the bank, bullets flying. She stumbles, appearing shot, only to reveal this is a hallucination, a last wave of fear and confusion. In reality, as the smoke clears, Janiah calmly steps outside, hands raised and heart broken.
Put your hands up high.
Detective Raymond meets her with understanding, not aggression, while Nicole stands quietly by her side. The crowd erupts, not with anger but thunderous cheers. Once feared, Janiah is now embraced, no longer a threat or victim but a human finally seen and held. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel if you haven't and let us know where you're watching from in the comments section. Your support is greatly appreciated, my dear friend. Feel free to click on the next video. Thank you.